doesn't take half their wealth. So there's one case, a man called Abu Bakr. Umar ibn Khattab, I just went to him and said, Abu Bakr, give me half your wealth. And he said, I don't even work for you. Yeah, I never signed up to this. I've got nothing to do with you. What do you mean give me half your wealth? And he said, your brother, he looks after the treasury. And your brother gives out loans. Now I reckon there's something going on here. So you've got to give me half your wealth. So brothers, not only are you going to get half your wealth taken, but your family members might even lose their wealth as well. So what does this create in the minds of the Muslims? It creates in the mind of the Muslims that, man, if I want to get rich, if I want to make monies, I have to run away from Umar ibn Khattab. I have to run away from these positions of ruling, because there is no chance of making money from these positions. If anything, I'm going to lose half my wealth. So as a result, brothers, the people that ended up ruling under Umar ibn Khattab were the best of the Muslims, because they made the ultimate sacrifice, because they took these jobs on purely for the pleasure of Allah. Just to end with this, brothers, another thing that Umar ibn Khattab used to do is that he emphasized, like I said before, he emphasized the fact that the rulers have to live very close to the people. And there's an example, there's a story where somebody came and said to Umar ibn Khattab that Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, he's built a little gate around his house. Yeah? And the guy kind of, described it, look, he's built this gate and he, wants to be separated and all this stuff. So Umar ibn Khattab sent his enforcer, and he said, go to Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas' house with this firewood and burn down the gate. He didn't ask any questions. Why has he built this gate? What's he doing? He just said, go and burn down the gate. So then Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas came and said to Umar ibn Khattab, look, to be honest, I built this gate, not because I want to be separated from the people, but because I live near a market, and with all the noise and all that stuff, I just wanted, a gate to block out the noise. And he said, no, even with that you can't do it. You're not allowed to have any barrier between you and the people. Now subhanAllah, brothers, if we look at the situation in this country, the situation in our countries back home, the rulers, the politicians, they live very far from the people. So these Tory MPs, some of them, they've got country estates. You can't even go on the road that leads to their estate because it's a private road. They could shoot you if you go on that road. That's how separated they are from you. In our countries back home, I used to live in the United Arab Emirates, and even there, their palaces are very, very far away from the people. And they've got massive walls, barbed wire on the walls, convoys that are monitoring it. They've got these watchtowers with a guy with a sniper waiting to shoot you if you come near the wall. That is their mentality. They don't want to be part of the people. They want to be separate from the people. They want to live in their luxury, and they don't want to know what is happening to the people. So Umar ibn Khattab and Islam, it prohibited this from happening. If you want to be an Islamic politician, an Islamic ruler, you have to live with the people. You have to experience what they go through. So brothers, alhamdulillah, we've seen that Islam, it solved the issue of political corruption 1400 years ago. 1400 years ago. And even now, these democracies that are hailed to be, the best system to live by, universal values, really annoys me when they go on about universal values, brothers. Universal value means that everybody in the world accepts it as the truth and accepts it as the best. That's what universal value means. So they go on about democracy, it's universal value, it's your birthright. It can't even solve the simple problem of corruption that Islam solved 1400 years ago. So brothers, alhamdulillah, we know that Islam has a solution to this problem. But, and I just want to end with this, it's not good enough just for us to know. It's not good enough for us to know that Islam has the solution and just sit there and feel, feel happy that my deen is the best and it's got the solution, etc. That's not good enough. In fact, the fact that we know Islam can solve these problems is put even more burden on us. It means that we have to go out now and change the situation. There's no point in knowing the solution and not doing anything about it. So Islam obligates us that we have to go and change this situation. And Islam has this principle, brothers, of enjoining the good and forbidding the munkar. You have to forbid the munkar that you see. And there's a famous hadith where Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you do not enjoin the good and forbid the munkar, then Allah will send calamity after calamity after calamity on your heads. And you will make dua, and Allah will not answer the du'as. So Islam has placed a massive emphasis on you going and doing something. It's not good enough just to believe that something is wrong. You've got to go and change it. That's what Islam teaches us. So I'd urge the brothers to do, inshallah, all the brothers in this room, is to join with the local brothers here in their campaign. Because that's what the brothers are doing here. They want to change the situation. They want to show the corruption in the West, and they want to show the Islamic solutions. Create awareness about this. Create support for this. So that inshallah we can see change soon in the Muslim world, where Islam will come back and be established and implemented again. And inshallah this is something that maybe we can go through a bit more in the Q&A, inshallah. But I'd like to end it there. Astaghfirullah. قولي قولي هذا واستغفر الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khair, brother Umar. Just a little comment on Umar bin Khattab. The non-Muslims, they used to say about him, his slogan was, if there was two Umars, the whole world would have come under Islam. This is how much of a just ruler he was. And imagine today if there was two Bushes, even the fishes would be corrupt. Seriously, bro, that's how bad it would be. Yeah? And inshallah, bro, this is your opportunity, inshallah. If you have any questions to ask the brother, please feel free. And there's paper if you want to write it down or anything.
You might argue, some people may argue that this system we're actually doing under the moment, it's been tested, it's been tried and it's been tested. But in terms of the Islamic State and the Islamic system, this is something in the past. I mean, how would it actually work in the current era?
Okay, Jazakallah khair, bro. First of all, democracy has been tested and tried, and it's failed completely. Yeah, so we can completely put that aside. Yeah, the democracy has been tested and tried, and it has completely failed. From its beginning until now, it's been littered with corruption. Yeah, I mean, they may go on about all of these values and stuff and fairness, but if you actually look at the situation, since the beginning, since the moment it started till now, there's always been corruption. Yeah, so the track record of democracy is that of failure. If you look at the Islamic track record, we've seen very clearly that Islam managed to root out political corruption. Yeah, it managed to bring justice to mankind. And like I said, brother, this was established 1400 years ago. And it was bringing justice 1400 years ago. And this is something that democracy hasn't even managed to do now. And like I said, brother, it's a combination of two things. And that is the values of Islam and the specific mechanisms that Islam has to protect those values. So it doesn't matter whether you're in the past or today, you do need a court that will supervise and regulate what the ruler is doing, and that can remove him at any time if he sees injustice in him. It doesn't matter if that was implemented in the past. If you implemented that now, it would work. You do need Majlis al-Ummah, you do need a body that will account the ruler, make sure that he's not doing any corruption. You do need the population to have this culture of constantly accounting the government. These are things that I guarantee if they were implemented today, they would solve these issues of corruption. And just because something was implemented a long time ago doesn't mean that it cannot work now. In fact, I would say that these are the sort of solutions, these are the mechanisms that the world needs to be implemented now, inshallah.
Just to add a comment to his one, Islam creates the ummah to be very God conscious.